So, Teeway is one of the hottest and newest drill talents to come out of the UK right now, and he finally dropped his debut EP, which he intended on being a mixtape at first and then changed his mind, fifth chapter. So, let's take a dive into it.
That's A&E to the block. Big man, you ain't even made 10 bags. You fag, don't check the fag, get a job. He cheated right up in the spot, now I feel cheated.
So, I've been a fan of Teeway since Bingo and Anglo-Saxon, which I still think are my two favourite songs, along with obviously Private Ryan, which was massive, which, like I said, was the best drill song of 2020. I feel like Teeway is just on a really good run at the moment, so it would be nice to see what he could deliver on an entire project, even if it's just an EP, give more of a people an introduction to Teeway if you didn't know Teeway already. So before I get into this review, like and subscribe if you watch anything that I do on this channel and like it, whether it's my rants, whether it's the reviews, or whether it's my list that I occasionally do, literally anything. If you have any requests for any content that you would want, please let me know in the comments or message me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm quite active on both of those. So the intro, one thing I liked is that he kind of switches it up here. It was good to see him go back to the kind of rap flows that he had on the song Feeling It, which he made especially for the Top Boy soundtrack. I think it was really good to see him tap into that. And another aspect of lyricism that a lot of people don't get is how you can use lyricism to create powerful imagery. It's not just about punchlines and wordplay. It's about how it has an impact on your mind and get you to picture what he wants to tell you in your head, which Teeway is very good at on this song. To pick out one lyric in particular on this one that really just shows a good example of that. Now I'm chilling with his bitch, she's got crack on her breath. It really gets that imagery in your head of what the atmosphere and environment is like, which is a part of lyricism, like I said, that is incredibly overlooked and is extremely important. So I'm not going to say too much about Dinner Time because a lot of people are more familiar with the song because it came out as a single already, but Teeway does what he does best. He bars out of his mind, he comes out with the flows that are quite unique, and in terms of the tone of voice and conviction which Teeway raps with, that's generally what Teeway's strength is, and it's very much showcased in this song, as it always is. Even then, a bar that I could pick out that really stood out to me is Run Up the Pack Like Rugby. I used to play rugby when I was in school, funnily enough, and so that bar kind of stuck out to me. There are probably a couple others that probably would have stuck out to you a bit more, but that was one of my favourites on that one. In my opinion, is this song better than Private Ryan? No. Simply because I think in terms of song structure, Private Ryan wins out because Private Ryan has a better hook. But not to say this song isn't bad either. I think this is still one of his top 5 best songs so far, along with Bingo and Tramp. I would say it's probably up there in his top 5 best songs. So Mona Lisa almost had my favorite beat on this. Almost. But that slight out of key 808, it doesn't ruin the song, okay? It's not M1 on the beat with Bando K bad, okay? It's not that bad, right? But it irks you a little bit. But I think generally, unless you're listening for it, you won't hear it. So it's not so bad. But the reason why I actually really likes that beat is because I really likes the use of instrumentation that you don't normally get on drill beats. There's a harp on a drill song. It's pretty cool. It works pretty nicely as well. So I'm quite happy about that. That in combination with the vocal loop that they put over the top of it as well, it blends together really nicely to make quite an interesting drill beat. And I think as far as drill beats go, this is one of the much more interesting ones. So hats off to whoever made this one. Now, ZT is kind of apparently like TF is just breeding good rappers in a factory somewhere because I had never heard of this guy before, but I'm going to have to keep an eye on this guy in the future because he laid down a pretty damn good verse. Pretty damn good verse. Flows and bars included. He kind of was keeping up with Teeway. I really felt that having someone not really as well known in that aspect may not be able to kind of keep up with Teeway, especially if maybe he hadn't really done that much rapping before and it's just someone brought up through the ranks of TF, then it may not quite work. But no, ZT has some really good bars and good contribution to this. So hats off to him. I think he has a single out at the moment on Mixtape Madness. If I'm not sure, go and check that out. I haven't quite gotten around to checking that out yet, but I'm going to have to check it out myself because I really like this verse. However, one thing that I found was that When they recorded it, they did the kind of somewhat mistake of the transitioning between the end of ZT's verse and the start of Teeway's hook, where it overlaps with each other too much, so you can't hear the last bar of ZT's verse, and then the hook gets jumbled up with it. I think that's just because of the way it recorded, because I think ZT went too far over on the end of the bar for his verse, but it carries over because the next bar of the beat has started for where Teeway's hook should have been. But then it will be awkward if you put in another 4-bar break in between or a bar break in between for Teeway's verse, because it doesn't line up, well, Teeway's hook, I mean. It doesn't line up with Teeway's hook for where you want the beat to drop. So it just feels awkward. I think that's why they had to do it like that. I don't know if there was a better solution to the problem, but it kind of irked me, I can't lie. It makes the song hard to sing along to when that happens. It means you can't sing along to the whole thing, because then you're singing along to the verse and then halfway through finishing the end of the verse, the hook started. So it just makes it really awkward for you. So, COVID, I have an unpopular opinion on this one. The beat is in a way where V9 doesn't suit it. I don't think V9 was needed on this song. Now, it's not that I think V9's verse is bad. I just think V9's verse doesn't fit with this beat. It's too mellow, and it doesn't really allow for V9 to do what he does best and bring the kind of energy that he brings to a track, that aggressiveness. That's not what this beat needed. It's not where the song was going. I think having a back-to-back with Teeway and KO coming out with just trying to see who can outbar each other is what the fans would have appreciated a bit more and would have suited the song more. I think V9 kind of disturbs what's going on, and they should have just let the song be what it was supposed to be. I think this is one of KO's better verses. I think sometimes because of his tone, he doesn't rap with as much conviction as other drill rappers do, so people don't necessarily find KO as interesting, but his pen's still as sharp as always. What I do like with having the three of them on there is that the song structure isn't what you would expect. It's with drill songs where you have three people on it. They usually do the predictable thing of Teeway verse, Teeway hook, KO verse, Teeway hook, V9 verse, and then Teeway hook again. That would have been the predictable thing to do, and that's usually how drill collabs like these go, but they mixed it up. It was really nice. It was a really nice surprise. It didn't just run the way you expected it to. Personally, if I saw this lineup, I would have expected a Teeway verse, V9 hook, a KO verse, V9 hook. That's how I expected the entire song to go, but it didn't go that way, which I liked. I like being surprised, and this was quite a nice surprise. Going back to KO's lyricism, my favourite bar from this song was KO. We're from East, got hammers, we're hooligans. And I really like how he doesn't deliver that punchline in a way that's obvious. Now, in terms of delivery, it's not necessarily about tone of voice when delivering a punchline. Sometimes it could be your exact wording of the punchline. So a punchline may deliver the general idea, the reference you want to go to, but he delivers it in a way that's a bit obscure and you have to actually think about what he's referring to. Hammers, hooligans, it's a West Ham reference, but he doesn't say, we got hammers, we're hooligan like West Ham, or we got hammers like football hooligans. He doesn't spell it out for you. He makes you think that little bit more as to why that punchline works and why it makes sense. And then when it clicks together, you're like, wow, that punchline was pretty good. So I like that from KO here. And that's kind of why I have KO in my top 20 UK drill rappers right now. And I think he should be in everyone's top 20 because he is of that caliber. So overall, I'm going to give this a C+. I think it's an enjoyable tape. I think we got to see some features on here from Teeway that make sense. There were probably some other ones that other people may have wanted, but I think this is fine, honestly. It's not too long. It's well digestible. It shows the lyricism Teeway is known for. It has a few rap songs on here as well with the intro and cutlery. It kind of works in different ways to showcase different things about Teeway. Some of the instrumentals, I do think COVID could have been a slightly nicer instrumental, even though it was a bit mellow. I do get what they were kind of going for, but that V9 first didn't quite fit or do exactly what the song was meant to do in a way. I feel like they were kind of going against what the song felt like it was supposed to be. But in the end, I still think it's definitely enjoyable. I still think it was nice to get a Teeway project out there. I still think everything that you like about Teeway, you are going to find on this project. It would just be nice to see what he could do in terms of mixing up song concepts in the future, simply because all of the song concepts on this song from Teeway are exactly what you expect them to be. So there's no real surprises on that front in terms of Sonics either. Yet again, it's the two sounds you already know Teeway for. He didn't really come with anything outside of that box or really vary it, but that's okay. I don't really mind that too much. So C+ is what I'm giving this one. So you made it to the end of the review. Thanks for watching. If you liked any of the stuff I said, if you thought it should have been rated higher and want to debate that with me, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more content in the future. Got plenty more left. We've got some of the more bigger albums coming out after this review, obviously. Fredo's new tape, we got new Chip, and we've got new Desi, which a couple of people, I've been very, very scared to drop my Desi one. I've been scared. Listen, if I end up at 10 o'clock news, dead, somehow, in mysterious circumstances, you know who did it, innit? That's all I'm going to say, you know who did it. Anyway, like and subscribe. Those reviews are going to be coming out soon. Thanks for watching the video. Peace. Thanks.